All right, out of the 49ers locker room here at Levi's following the preseason finale. Tell you what, Curtis Robinson was one happy man.
Pretty fun. I was just telling Gus, there's a few things you can make up, and that's just one of those things where in the moment it felt like everything was moving in slow motion, but to have it happen was amazing, and then two, to look to the sideline and see all the guys that, have been there supporting me throughout the rehab, just waiting and be excited for me was one of the coolest things in the world.
The pick six for Curtis Robinson culminates his long road back, the 11-month road back from an ACL tear. I asked Curtis, did it feel like 11 months? And he said, no, it felt a lot longer. I think sometimes it's really important to consider the journeys that these guys go through, especially when they're trying to come back from injury. One such journey awaits Jakob Robinson, the other Robinson on this 49ers roster. Actually, they got three of them, right? DeMarcus Robinson as well. He scored a touchdown today. But Jakob Robinson, the rookie cornerback out of BYU, broke his forearm. That is rough news. I thought that he was a shoo-in for at least the 49ers practice squad. But that obviously has taken a hit as Jakob Robinson exits with a broken forearm in the final preseason game. Going through some of the other stuff that Kyle Shanahan gave us today, he expects both Mykel Williams and Upton Stout to be back this week, which is big. Mykel with the knee, Upton Stout with the calf. 49ers wanted to make sure that they could pencil these guys into the lineup before that roster cut down, and it does appear to be trending in the right direction. Stout especially, that had been something that I'd become a little concerned about over the course of the past week or two as that kept on getting pushed back. But it did sound like Kyle Shanahan is confident that Upton Stout will be back this week. He also said that Jauan Jennings should be ready to go for week one, calf-wise, health-wise. I get it, that entire situation feels a little weirder than just that. We know about the contract, and we know about the 49ers supposedly firm line in the sand at this point. We haven't heard directly from Jauan Jennings in quite some time. Wasn't in the locker room when I went in there today, so just take that for what it's worth. Another interesting quote from Kyle Shanahan. He said that the 49ers traded for Brian Robinson Jr. to be the number 2 back behind Christian McCaffrey. He was very, very direct about that today. So I'm slotting that into my depth chart. I've got CMC 1, I've got Brian Robinson Jr. number 2, and Isaac Guerendo 3, and obviously Jordan James going to make the team as well. Shanahan said that Jeff Wilson Jr. is going to give the 49ers something to think about. I think the likeliest landing point for Jeff is the practice squad. Jordan James should be back from the broken finger very, very soon for the 49ers. So that was just basically what we learned from Kyle Shanahan in his press conference. The 49ers are going to cut this roster on Tuesday. One more practice before then on Monday, then practices on Wednesday and Thursday. But here's the full look into the 49ers locker room, including a look at Tariq Owens, T.O.'s son, who had his first career touchdown catch, albeit in the preseason game today. But you'll hear from Tariq, you'll hear from Nick Martin, and of course, you'll hear from Curtis Robinson.
What do you lean on?
During this time?
Mm-hmm.
Just really my teammates. My coach. Like I said, I always try to make sure I'm doing the little things right. So, I mean, they've been, big supporters, and obviously family and friends.
So, Tuesday, we know what that day is.
Yeah.
How do you approach it, and what are your emotions and?
I mean, I'm going into it knowing, I felt like I, gave everything I got. Even with the little, nicks and bangs from camp. I feel like, I gave it my best foot forward, and, ready for whatever decisions are made. So.
In the receiver room is there.
Thanks, Tree.
Really listened to a lot, tried to pick up things from. Some of the more veteran guys in that room haven't been practicing, Jennings, but how's that been for you?
I'll just say BA. He gives good critique. He definitely holds guys accountable. I remember, it was just the first game. Like, I hadn't really been playing, got in.
felt like I wasn't really going full speed, so he called it out, stuff like that. But everybody just obviously the coach Hank, big critic as well. But yeah, just they've been the biggest help.
And I think before this preseason games, I think my first time playing, or my last time playing a game was week 5 of the 24 season. So, I mean, it was definitely, I think I just needed to get my feet in the grass and get the feel back, and I feel like I'm just trending in the right direction. So, and I'm just super excited for the next phase, and I'm just super blessed, man, super excited.
What's like seeing the film of yourself, but also having it kind of coincide with what you're hearing from coaches and teammates alike?
I mean, I feel like it's just not getting too high in the highs and not getting too low in the lows, but take the coaching and figure out how to execute better, you know, and it's really just one of those things where you just gotta take the good and bad plays with a grain of salt, but learn from them, you know what I mean? And make sure that the next time you get this opportunity, it looks better, so.
The forced fumble, it seemed that your 2 tackles, Valdez and Evan Anderson, got a lot of push on that play.
Yeah.
As a linebacker, do you feel that?
Oh, yeah.
That you have that room to accelerate?
Yeah, no, you definitely feel it, you know. It's, you don't got linemen climbing up to it. You can really see and diagnose the play. So, man, them guys are balling. Everybody, that whole front is balling. I'm super, super excited to play behind them and see them eat as well. So,
What do you feel just the readiness overall is for your group?
readiness?
Yeah.
Everything, man. I feel like we're ready for everything. I feel like we're just excited for the journey, you know, being process driven and not goal driven. So I feel like that's something that we have really focused on in the OTAs up until now, like just being process driven and living in the moment and figuring out ways to get better. So
I asked Kyle Shanahan how's it feel to kind of watch you kind of.
I'm gonna just continue to, you know, pound the details of Kyle's offense and, you know, keep building on today.
When you talk about putting the fun back in the game, do you feel like you needed a fresh start?
Yeah, I feel like I definitely needed a fresh start. You know, just I found myself in my head a lot over in Kansas City, and you know that's never good. You know, I feel like today it was just like let it loose and just go out and play, because I don't know anything anyway. So it's like I got to just play ball.
When you walked into this locker room, the facility for the first time, what feelings went through your head other than fresh start?
When I first walked in, it gave me like a similar feeling to when I walked into Kansas City. It's another, you know, great program. Like they do a lot of great things. They do a lot of great things, just like Kansas City. So it felt similar, just walking into a locker room with a lot of established guys, a lot of established coaches, and you know, hopefully we can go get that Super Bowl.
For fans who aren't really familiar with your game, maybe what can they expect from you, or like what's your message to them?
Really, just I'm a team guy. You know, I'm gonna do whatever the team needs, whether it's special teams, whether it's, you know, getting 2 catches a game, whatever they want me to play running back. I'm here for the team. So I just want to carve my role out and just be the best I can be.
Did everything that you went through flash before your eyes at that point, or does it more like Tariq was saying, he blacked out after this touchdown?
Yeah, I mean, it happens like that. It is a blur, but I think like when I got to the sideline, my parents were right behind the bench, and like even just talking to Johnny, like that's kind of when everything settled, and like I felt myself get emotional, but it was just like an accumulation of all the, you know, the work from the beginning to the even camp, just working through stuff, and but yeah, it was really cool.
I know you said post game that you might get emotional when you walked into the locker room. Did you?
Yeah, but I think when I see my mom outside, that's gonna be pretty hard. So pretty hard not to get emotional. But yeah.
How long did it feel like that pass was in the air before it arrived in your hands?
It didn't feel long, but once I caught it, it was it almost felt like I paused for a second. It kind of caught me off guard, but yeah.
Last pick six? When was your last pick six?
I think that was actually my first pick six ever. Yeah, that was my first one ever.
So now that you realize that was your first